Hey, what's going on, everybody? So, there's a lot of rumors about version 3.0 for Honkai Star Rail, right? Let's talk about it. So, this game has made a couple updates, quite a bit of updates that has completely changed the game, right? One being Penacony, the updates in Penacony. But what I'm about to tell you, you may have heard of it, you may not have heard of it, but what I'm about to tell you will actually change Honkai Star Rail forever. It's going to change the meta forever moving forward. If this is true, right? If this rumor, not a leak, if this rumor is true, it might be a leak. If this rumor is true, right? If we're all collectively dreaming the same thing and it's actually true, this will change the meta forever. This will change the upcoming characters forever. This will change existing characters forever. This will be one of the biggest updates we will ever see in Honkai Star Rail in this game's entire lifespan. Arguably bigger than easily bigger than version 2.0, easily bigger than any regional update. So let's talk about it, right? What is it? What am I hyping up? And that would be the potential of a new path coming to the game. Now, this has never been stated officially, so, for, obvious reasons, let's just say that this is based off of speculation, right? People have been saying for quite a while, we're gonna get an eighth path, right? Currently, we have seven, right? The ones that we're all familiar with. But there's been a rumor going around since, I'm pretty sure before the Penacony arc even ended, that we're going to be getting an eighth path, and that would be Remembrance, right? Now, we've also heard, especially recently, right, and this can even be backed up in game, that the meta will be shifting heavily from the current, which is Break Effect, towards summons, right? So right now we have a very Break Effect oriented meta going on right now, right? With Firefly absolutely stomping everything. Her and Harmony Trailblazer, this is literally all you need. Renmei is just for add-ons, right? This is the main two that you need, right? Harmony Trailblazer is free, Gallagher is easy to get, and Firefly, she's the DPS obviously, right? Break Effect is very easy to get going, right? You can tell I only have one Break Effect team, but we ball, right? I got Silverwolf to back me up in some cases, but Firefly absolutely stomps everything, right? Even in MOC 36 with this team comp, or MOC floor 12, with this team comp, I can beat it in like 1, 2, 3 cycles, however many cycles it takes. Not that many. It's very easy, right? In contrast to Jing Liu, who especially in this MOC is just not doing too well. Even Himiko is doing better than her, and in my opinion, that's really saying something. But the meta is about to change forever, right? We're gonna shift away from Break Effect. Sure, Break Effect might be good in some cases, but the meta is not going to be Break Effect oriented anymore. Allegedly, it seems like we're going to be going more towards summons, right? So if we go to Cavern, or not this, my bad. If we go to Simulated Universe, right, take a look at some of the ornaments that we have in the game right now. We can take a look at, this ornament set that very interesting once you actually see it, because right now I'm not sure if anyone can actually benefit from this other than maybe Jing Yuan, but the two-piece, right? The two-piece set increases the wearer's crit damage by 16% when a target is summoned by the wearers on the field. Crit damage additionally increases by 32%. Currently, I believe Jing Yuan is the only person who can actually use this set. Yeah, Jing Yuan is the only one, and Jing Yuan off rip when he was first released back in version 1.0 was clowned on. He wasn't as good as Sealy. Nobody liked him. No one wanted to pull for him because he sucked, right? He's good looking, but he just wasn't good. He was bad. But it seems like 2 years later, Jing Yuan might finally start to rise up in the meta, right? He's erudition, so maybe you could throw him in pure fiction somewhere, especially now that he's buffed with this set. But there's another rumor that Sunday, who's coming in version 2.7, is gonna be a summon support. I think he might even be like a generalist support, but he might cater especially towards summons, right? Kind of like how Renmei is like Break Effect oriented, or my bad, she's like a generalist support. You could pair her with anyone like Jing Liu, whatever, but she works especially well in Break Effect team comps, and it seems like it's gonna be like that with Sunday as well. Ting Yun or Fuge, on the other hand, is just another Break Effect unit. I believe she is gonna be a step up from Renmei for the Break Effect team comp, right? The Firefly team comp. But Remembrance is allegedly gonna be it's gonna be themed around summons, right? Now, if we take a look at some of Hoyoverse's other games, we've seen them completely change up like their future characters forever. Now, one that'll come to mind for obvious reasons for most people would be Genshin Impact, when for the first 2 years of the game there were only 6 elements, when the game was always missing the 7th one, which is Dendro, right? Grass type element, which we actually don't even have in this game. But in version 3.0 for that game, they added a grass element, you know, the Dendro element, which completely changed the meta forever. It completely changed the game forever. It was the biggest update the game had ever seen, and I think we're about to see something like that here, but with Remembrance. Will Remembrance always stay on top? Maybe not. Maybe we'll get a 4th game mode that is especially tied for Remembrance units. That way, when we eventually shift away from the Remembrance meta, it'll still be a thing where you want to build up at least one Remembrance unit, kind of like with Erudition, right? Erudition was never on top, but with Erudition, you want to build Erudition units for Pure Fiction, right? That's why I got my E1 S1 Himiko built, right? If it wasn't for Pure Fiction, she would have just been left in the dust at level 50 or whatever it was, right? Now, another example that I can actually think of, one that people might not be as familiar with, which is a shame, but it's whatever at this point, right? Would be Honkai Impact, where in that game, right, there were 3 base elements, right? Elements, whatever it is you want to call them, combat types, right? You had Bio, you had Psychic, and then you had Mecha. And then they eventually added one, and then they added another one, right? They added Quantum, and then they added Imaginary, right? Kind of like in this game, Quantum Imaginary is the same. They work differently because this game is turn-based, but still, they added the same Quantum we see here, and then Imaginary, same Imaginary, right? They also added new weapon types, right? Kind of like what we see here with the Remembrance, you know, a new path, right? It will be the closest correlation between the two, right? Maybe in the future we can get a new combat type too, like a grass type, or maybe some ship, or I don't know, some kind of water element, right? Something like that. Just switch up the game, some meta forever. But here's my prediction for version 3.0 before I end up this video, right? Because I'm getting really excited, you know. I feel like in version 3.0, we're gonna see Remembrance, right? We're gonna see Remembrance. We're gonna be getting the first ever Remembrance unit. Maybe eventually we're going to be getting a Remembrance Trailblazer, right? Like how we got the Harmony Trailblazer in version 2.2. And then maybe after that, or around there, we may possibly be seeing a 4th game mode, or maybe something completely different, one that is tied to the end game loop that we're familiar with, but isn't a part of one of these 3 game modes. Maybe like its own thing, right? You know, kind of like how, even though this counts as endgame, it's different from the main endgame that we're familiar with, right? Maybe we can see a 3rd type of thing like that for Remembrance, or maybe we could just get a 4th game mode right here in the Treasure's Lightward. Maybe. I feel like Remembrance, if this is true, if this is were to actually be a thing, will be relevant essentially forever. Like with Erudition, right? Erudition will always be better than Destruction in Pure Fiction. No doubt about it. People are still running Herta. No one was using Herta before Pure Fiction launched, and when they came out with Pure Fiction, it completely changed the game forever. Now almost everyone has a Herta built. I don't, because I don't need her, but yeah, that's the end of the Herta chapter for this video. But that's it for this video, right? I'm hyped, bro. I really hope that this rumor is true. I would really love to see a new combat type or a new element or a new path in this game, right? I want to see them build upon what they've already created. You know, the regions, I always look forward to whenever there's a new region, new story and all that, but they're pretty frequent, right? It would be nice if every now and then we can just switch up the game's meta for good. Just throw in like a new combat type, throw in a new path. We don't need the same just monotonous cycle over and over again, you know. Switch things up, right? We had it with Pure Fiction, we had it with Apocalyptic Shadow, we had it with Divergent Universe. Why can't we get more, right? That's it. I'll see you. Goodbye.